Miami Heat basketball is back next month. Yes, you heard that correctly. And if you are as excited as I am for the Heat to be back on the hardwood, hit that thumbs button right now. Oh boy, here we go again. Once again, folks, Bleacher Report has suggested a Kyle Kuzma trade to the Miami Heat. We've talked about it in the past, but this one actually is a little interesting because it is a different trade package than what we have always thought. We have always projected it to be a trade featuring Tyler Herro, but this one does not have Tyler in it, so I wanted to talk about it. The Heat receive Kyle Kuzma, and they give up Duncan Robinson, Josh Richardson, Nikola Jovic, and a 2030 first-round pick that is top 10 protected. But this one's fascinating because Herro obviously is not in it, and they get to keep Rozier, Tyler, and also add Kuzma. Let's hear what Bleacher Report had to say on it. They said that Kuzma is a demonstrated 20-point-per-game scorer with championship experience in his not-so-distant past. Stranded in Washington these past 3 years, he comes with the standard good stats, bad team concerns, but that might also mean that he could expect efficiency gains from him in a more functional, talent-rich environment. And I actually really agree with that last statement from Bleacher Report. It might be the smartest thing they have ever put out, ever. I've been on the Kyle Kuzma train for a while, and I've always said it's twofold with these players that have good stats on bad teams because they are forced to be number one option, so they're just chucking up shots. Yes, they're getting inflated points per game total, but their efficiency goes down. And they're also being guarded by opposing teams' best defenders because they're the top option. Well, if Kyle Kuzma was in Miami, that wouldn't be the case. People would be more focused on Jimmy and Bam. Kuzma would get to be a third option again. And when he was not even a third option, but a lower option with the Lakers when they won the championship, he was very, very good on that basketball team. Sure, the stats aren't as good on paper, but the efficiency was a little bit better, and he was able to play more winning style of basketball. And then ever since being shipped over to the Wizards, the stats have been very nice. 20 points per game, averaging 6 rebounds, shooting 44% from the field. But he hasn't been able to translate to wins. I think Kuzma in Miami, on that controlled environment that Bleacher Report mentioned, would be very, very good for the Heat, and he is exactly what they need at that power forward position where he could guard above his size, grab boards, be that four next to Bam. I do believe in Nikola Jovic. I think it's very possible he could have a breakout type season this year, and I expect him to average 10 points per game or more this year. But getting Kuzma, don't get it twisted, would be an upgrade this year for that position. More from Bleacher Report. The 28-year-old forward is on a declining contract and offers a ton of value in what Miami's offense, which ranked 21st last season, needs. A capable self-creator, solid passer, 4.2 assists per game last season, and good enough catch and shoot threat, 35.5% last year, to draw attention. Kuzma could juice the Heat's attack and take over a started gig from Haywood Highsmith, which, by the way, that's uninformed, so good job, Bleacher Report. A second ago, bad job here because Highsmith isn't a starter. Jaime Jaquez Jr. or Tyler Herro, depending on what Eric Spoelstra thinks that his first unit needs most. And I do find it interesting that they mention like the catch and shoot three-point shooting because that is the one thing that Nikola Jovic actually has over Kyle Kuzma. Jovic shot 40% from three last season. Kuzma only shooting 35.5% on catch and shoot situations. So Jovic is a better three-point shooter, but Kuzma's a better overall scorer, can get it on his own, can play in a lot of different ways in a Miami Heat offense. And I would find it interesting, by the way, if that trade that Bleacher Report suggested actually happened, on who they would end up starting. Would they go for the full starting lineup with Rozier, Herro, Kuzma, Jimmy, and Bam? I'm not sure they would, but I think Kuzma would absolutely be a starter because he projects as what Miami exactly needs at that four spot in between Jimmy and Bam at the starting front court. So let me know as we continue the conversation. Get your votes down in the comment section. Should Miami trade for Kyle Kuzma? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I know there might be some fatigue on the Kuzma talk and the situation. We've talked about it quite a bit, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And they also talked about his declining contract as a reason why this would be a very good asset for Miami to go out and potentially acquire. It is the best contract in all of sports. Not sports, but maybe basketball. I know a lot of people will say Jalen Brunson, and I don't disagree. But when you have Kuzma coming down from 23, to 21 to 19 over 3 seasons that are fully guaranteed. There's no team option. There's no player option. You're getting Kyle Kuzma guaranteed for 3 years at the most affordable rate that you can possibly imagine. He can be a third/fourth option on a championship leading team. Folks, like in 2 years, he'll be 30, 31, but he's also getting paid $19.5 million. That's what Duncan Robinson's getting paid right now. And I don't think there's any debate that Kyle Kuzma is a much better player than Duncan Robinson. So when you think of the contract plus what you would get back from Kuzma and a more controlled, efficient version of himself that is more, let's say, giving more effort defensively as well because he doesn't have to do as much on the offensive side of the ball, to me, it is one of the better fits for Miami on the trade market. We got more to bring up here, but we are sponsored by PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America with more than 5 million active members. And with football starting this weekend, you can make your entries to watch all of the big games, but you could also look ahead to the basketball season that is just around the corner. My season-long basketball predictions is this. I got more than Bam Adebayo, 9.9 rebounds per game, more than Jalen Brunson, 6.8 assists per game, less than Zachary Risachet, 10.2 points per game. You can take my picks. You can take other picks from celebrities like Drewski, Sugar Sean O'Malley on the community plays under the promos tab in the PrizePicks app. You can actually win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks right now as well. PrizePicks invented flex play, which means you can still cash out of your lineup if it's not perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. I play PrizePicks on a daily basis. You should join me. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, let's talk about a little bit Tyler Herro action here because I actually find it fascinating that Bleacher Report in this projected trade doesn't feature Tyler Herro heading back to DC because if you just look at the overall teams of both Washington and Miami, you would expect that you would move in Kyle Kuzma, move out Tyler Herro. Herro's making $29 million. Kuzma's making $23. Contracts are similar. Washington would need a score after losing Kuzma because they don't want to force it all on the rookies and have them get their development crushed because they're just getting guarded by the best players on the planet every day. So they would get Herro to at least draw some of that attention away. But that's not the case. He get to keep Kuzma. So would they go with the projected starting lineup that is this? Would they do the Rozier-Herro backcourt with Jimmy, Kyle, and Bam? Because I mean, ironically enough, we've always talked about how the Heat need a bona fide scorer that can give you 25 plus a night, but this lineup has 4 scorers that basically give you 20 on any given night. We've seen Kuzma do it. We've seen Herro do it the past 3 years. Terry was doing it before he got traded to Miami last season, and obviously Jimmy and Bam do it consistently as they are 2 of the better players in the entire NBA. Like that lineup, this is probably a bad analogy because they never won anything, but that group of 5 gives me a lot of Atlanta Hawks vibes in like 2014, 2015 with the Al Horford, with the Josh Smith, the Joe Johnson, the Jeff Teagues. Sure, it didn't work out for them, but that's the type of versatility you would bring because any one of those guys on a given night could be the hero that gives you 28, 30 points in a game. But none of them are heavily being pressured because you have so many different weapons. It's like the Boston Celtics last year. I'm not going to compare the two, but they're so good and they were able to win the championship because any given night, it could be Derek White for 30. It could be Drew Holiday. It could be Jaylen Brown. It could be Porzingis. It could be Tatum. That is the level of versatility that starting lineup would give you for the Heat this season. And you would still have a terrific, terrific bench. Jaime Hawkins Jr. being your 6th man would be a cheat code. You have Alec Burks to be your bench shooter that Duncan Robinson had that role last season. Haywood Highsmith is your 3-and-D guy off the bench. Oh, and yeah, you still have Khalil Ware as your backup center, the 15th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft. Like that is a really, really strong top 9-man group. So we're going to go back to the trade here one more time. This is what it was. Kuzma to Miami, Duncan, Josh Richardson, Jovic to Washington alongside a 2030 first-round pick. It's an intriguing trade, and I officially want to know your thoughts right now. Would you do this trade? Type A for accept or type D for decline 3 players out and a pick, 1 player in. I am going to give you my official answer coming up in just a second, but get yours down below. I'm going to go yes. As hard as it would to get rid of Nikola Jovic, who all of you know is arguably my favorite player on the team. It is Bam, but Jovic is right up there. I'm a Jovic truther. I'm a Jovic stan. But I also have the best interest of the Heat organization over my love for Nikola Jovic. And I think Kyle Kuzma over Jovic on this roster for the next 3 seasons would give Miami a better chance to bring a 4th championship to South Beach for Jimmy, for Bam. That's how I feel. If you add Kuzma to this team, it just raises the ceiling. Duncan, Richardson, not movers, not moved that they're going to be off the team in this projected trade. And then the first round pick, it is what it is. You got to spend the win, right? All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're bringing you daily content over here at the Heat Report. Make sure you are subscribed because it's getting closer and closer to actual basketball being back in a month. So subscribe today.